Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you from vacation. No, I'm back from vacation, but with a Pokemon sales data video. It's been a couple of days, so there's a little bit to go over. There's a lot of it to go over. I have like 3 pages of this stuff. Okay, so Gym Challenge. We have Blaine's Charizard CGC 8. And it didn't have any of the subgrades, so I couldn't tell, but that's sold for 1,300. That's in line where if the Blaine's Charizard PSA 9 had a decrease down to, you could probably get it for like 2,500 at this point. Yeah, that works out. Lieutenant Surge's Raichu, first edition PSA 9, sold for $171. We have 3 packs. I think they were unweighed. There was first edition Blaine's artwork, Sabrina's artwork, and Giovanni's artwork. That sold for $960, all 3 of them combined. We had a Blaine's Charizard, first edition PSA 9, plus an Evolutions box. Weird combination for them to go together, but they were sold together, and the highest bid was $2,950. Brock's Ninetales first edition PSA 10 sold for $716, record price point for that card. Sabrina's Alakazam first edition PSA 10 sold for $1,013. A little bit of a retrace. I think that had gone up to 13 at one point. It's coming down. Blaine's Arcanine first edition PSA 7 sold for $256. Let's say then the 8. Yeah, that's nice. By that math, let's say the 8 goes to 500. 9's about 1,000. Yeah, that works out. It's a good price. Rocket Zapdos first edition PSA 9 sold for $328. Then we had a Rocket Zapdos first edition PSA 10 sold for $870. So either the 9 is too high or the 10 is too low, because that is not a that ratio, that 10 should be $984 minimum, bare minimum. Anything under $984, you're getting a steal, and I think it's going to go up. Now, again, it could be that the whole thing is retracing, but the 9s just haven't retraced yet, and the 9 is due to go lower. It's always possible as well, but I think it's just going to go up. It's my opinion. Another Blaine's Charizard first edition PSA 9 sold for $2,595. Blaine's Charizard first edition PSA 10 sold for $9,413. That, again, a little bit of a retrace. Again, it went up as high as 13,000, at 11, 10, 9,400. Now, hasn't retraced as much as the Dark Charizard, just because there's a lot less supply out there. Rocket's Mewtwo, first edition PSA 9, sold for $601. Record price point for that card, the 9. Koga's Ditto, first edition PSA 10, sold for $455. I think that's a little low. And then Sabrina's Alakazam, first edition PSA 9, sold for $270. For Gym Challenge, really the bulk of what we're looking at here is Charizard. Big dip. Again, if I had more money, I would buy the dip, and I'd be like, all right, buy that Blaine's Charizard at $9,000. Because from what I've noticed, you'll have the normal prices, and then PWCC prices normally a little above. And again, this is contingent on the quality. Like, not all 9s are created equal, not all 10s are created equal. There's going to be a little bit. Someone will pay a premium for a pristine copy. Someone will be like, oh, all right, this is a 9, but it's a little light, so it's probably not going to get as much. But again, this will be normal auction prices. This will be PWCC auction prices. It's going to increase. Not a ton, but it almost all of them increase. So this is something that you see where Blaine's Charizard already for the PWCC auction is at $9,000. And they have another one. They do like 2 of these things out. They have their big auction line, and then like something that ends 4 days later, they have their other auction line. They have another Blaine's Charizard there, so that'll be interesting. Gold Star. We only have one. Gold Star Charizard PSA 9, so for $5,969. Base set. A lot of these here. We have, good amount of base set. We have Professor Oak, first edition PSA 10, so for $540. We had a Doduo, first edition PSA 10, so for $288. A Staryu, sold for $300. A Magikarp, sold for $710. Magikarp getting it in, $710. These are all first edition PSA 10, unless I say otherwise. Ghastly, sold for $338. And an Ivysaur, sold for $1525. I feel like a lot of the middle cards, second evolutions, like War Turtle, Ivysaur, and Charmeleon, they don't really get a lot of love, because you get the starters, everyone knows those. Then you evolve them, and you evolve them for like 10 minutes, because you're constantly battling, and the starters are probably your favorite Pokemon. And then they go, level 32 is Venusaur, and 36 is Blastoise and Charizard. And then they're like that for the rest of the game. So, anyway, just a little observation here. Red Cheeks Pikachu BGS 9. How it got the 9 was an 8.5 for the centering, 9 for the corners, and 9.5 for everything else. Sold for $2,100. Venusaur, first edition PSA 9. All of these now are first edition PSA 9s, let's say. Otherwise, $6,000 $561. A Shadowless Charizard PSA 9 sold for $6,300. A Chansey first edition PSA 9 sold for $3,150. Kadabra sold for $199. Magikarp sold for $208. Magneton first edition PSA 7 sold for $223. Shadowless Charizard PSA 9 sold for $10,308. So a large difference between this Shadowless 9 Zard sold for $6,300 and this Shadowless 9 Zard sold for $10,308. And then we have a Blastoise first edition PSA 9 sold for $10,300. Nice. That one, that's a hell of a retrace too, because they were getting like almost $20,000, and that took a 50% haircut. But again, that's something that I think will go up as time goes on. That's a very popular card. As far as popularity goes, Charizards have been anything unlimited. Again, I would not buy unlimited. That's just me. There's just so much supply and so much product for that. I'm just maybe it's safe, if you buy like Charizard, but although I think that's taking a pretty big haircut too. Even first edition PSA 9, even Charizard, the most popular card in the hobby, first edition, and BGS 9, it went from $60,000 to like $35,000. Again, almost a 50% haircut. So you could have gotten two for that price at that. And again, I'm not worried, because I know that long term that is the most popular card in the hobby, is that Charizard, first edition Charizard, especially in that higher grade. That is something I don't know when that'll be $100,000 card, and that Charizard first edition PSA 10 will be $1 million card at some point. I don't know when, but again, this is my opinion. Jungle, Vileplume, first edition PSA 9. These are all first edition PSA 9. So Vileplume got 148, Kangaskhan got 360, Flareon got 485, Metamoth got 189, and Cubone got 84. I freaking love Cubone. So going over these things here, Jungle is just a solid set. Vileplume, again, you see that in Pokemon Snap. Erica has a Vileplume in the games, and in the... actually, she has a Gloom, but, she has a Vileplume as well. In the cards as well, and Kangaskhan. You have that Kangaskhan Kid. I'll catch you later, Al. You have that Kangaskhan Kid episode, Trophy Kangaskhan, so any type of Kangaskhan, I think, also gets a little bit of a thing with that. It's first Pokemon, like, with a baby. Speaking of first, you have Cubone. That's, like, one of the first Pokemon with a weapon. You can make the argument that Farfetch'd has that as well, but it's just legit. And Venomoth has that episode with Koga in it, and Flareon's just an evolution. So Jungle's just a solid set, in my opinion. You can't go wrong with it. Rocket. We have a couple Rockets here. We have two Team Rockets. Those first edition PSA 10 hollows. One sold for 180, one sold for 208. My friend Lilith is like, walking's exhausting. Dark Hypno first edition PSA 10 sold for 167. A Dark Blastoise first edition PSA 9 sold for 610. Charmander first edition PSA 10 sold for 305. Again, we're in the Rocket set. 3 Dark Charizards here. 1 Dark Charizard first edition PSA 9. I'm sorry, 2 Dark Charizards. First edition PSA 9 sold for $14.45. A Dark Charizard first edition PSA 10 sold for $5,000. This is more than a 50% haircut, because we had 3 at one point sell for over $10,000. And yeah, large decrease. Dark Blastoise first edition PSA 9 sold for $580. Again, this is something where this print run for first edition, it was just a large print run. So this is something that you're just can't. Okay, there we go. There's a large print run. Promos. We have a couple of promos here, just 2. We had a Mario Pikachu, which is one of my favorite crossovers. Which one's the... Nope. Okay. That's one of my favorite promos. PSA 10 sold for $820. The full arts will sell for well over $1,000. Umbreon Gold Star. Now there's the 70,000 experience points you need to get. Japanese BGS 9. Yeah, 70,000 experience points for this. How it got the BGS 9, it had 8.5 for the centering, 9.5, 8.5 for the centering, 9 for the edges, 9.5 for the surface, and 10 for the corners. It's weird. It's, increases with each one. But that sold for $40,000. $40,000 card, because that card is just something that so incredibly rare, so incredibly hard to get. Very, very good artwork. Neogenesis. So we got a bit of these to go. Neogenesis, we have all right, I'm just going to... Most of these are Lugia. Actually, All of these are Lugia. First edition BGS 9, so for $5,500. um, contrast that, I think that's a record price point too. Contrast that with a first edition PSA 8, which sold for $1,825, and you're thinking like, Chavez, didn't you get like yours for $2,500, like $2,300? Yes, absolutely. I had swirls on mine, and this one not only did not have a swirl, but only had one picture. Anytime you have something with one picture, you're automatically like robbing yourself of what could be. That yeah, that's just what's going to happen. We had another Lugia first edition PSA 5, sold for $537. We had a Lugia first edition CGC 9, which 9 for the centering and edges, 8.5 for the surface, and 10 for the corners. That sold for $5,100. And a Lugia first edition PSA 8 sold for $23.75. Another 8 sold for $22.50. And then a first edition PSA 9 sold for $2,500. That must have been a weird. I don't know how that happened, but whatever. What we're looking at here again. There's maybe I don't know the percentage of flippers. There's bound to be people that are buying these, flipping them, flipping them. But there's some, like myself, that are just buying because it's an incredible card. The right now PWCC auction has that PSA 10 at $65,000. There was 80 the other day, and then I guess there was some fuckery afoot. But $65,000 is definitely a new record price point. And again, there's still a couple of days left in that auction, and the 9 right now is over $5,000, which is the reason why I think these are selling. The BGS 9 sold for 5.5, and that CGC sold for 5,100. I think this is going to be a record price point by several $1,000s. Like, I would not be surprised if this 9 gets like $8,000. Even $10,000, I wouldn't be surprised. The math would work out. Let's say if it's $65,000. I'll do some quick math right here. If you're looking at $65,000 and you divide it by 8, you're looking at about $8,125. But if we do $65,000 and we divide it by 5, you're looking at $13,000. So anywhere in between, you're probably, like 10.5, something like that. Because you have a 10 will sell for normally 5 to 8 times what the 9 sells for. And if the 10 is ahead, like if that sells first, although the 9 is going to sell first in the auction order, you're looking at, it's a difference of $4,900. So it could be anywhere in between there. Now, again, in extreme cases, that 10 could sell for 10 times what the 9 is selling for, or in some other extreme cases, it'll only sell for 3 times what the 9 is going for. But historically, there's really only one data point, for this year, and that was recently. So this is still kind of figuring itself out, and that's why I think the 9 is due for a huge increase. Same with the 8s. Although there's a lot of supply. There's 300 and something PSA 9 copies, and there's a lot, I think, much more PSA 8s. So again, there's a lot. And again, some people don't even want to spend $1,000 on a card. They can't. Some people, it's irresponsible. Some people, $1,000 is more than their rent. And they can't. It could be so popular, and at that point, maybe they'll get the unlimited version, maybe get non-graded. But if you're collecting, you want something. You don't want a damaged card. You want the best of the best, and you want the best of what you can afford. Again, I'm spending a lot of time on that. Try to get through this quick. Neo Rev, record price point for Houndour, first edition PSA 9, sold for $280. Shining Gyarados, huge decrease with this, first edition PSA 9, sold for $16.25. I think that decrease will continue, that dip, until a 10 sells, drive the price back up. Entei, first edition PSA 9, sold for $760. And that's it for that one. Fossil. Ditto, first edition PSA 9, sold for $213. Lapras, first edition PSA 9, sold for $500. Gengar, first edition PSA 9, sold for $515. Aerodactyl, first edition PSA 10, sold for $13.75. And Raichu, first edition PSA 9, sold for $340. Gonna take a drink of water. Skyridge. Crystal Golem PSA 10, sold for $15.25. And the rest of these are going to be PSA 9. Gengar, $12.25. Gyarados, $8.10. Houndoom, $4.60. Jolteon, $3.05. Kabutops, $2.29. Ladian, $1.66. Macargo, $1.74. And Machamp, $3.02. Aquapolis, we had a Kingdra, PSA 10, sold for $11.25. Neo Discovery, Espeon, first edition, PSA 10, $4,201. I think that's a little low. I feel like that. I feel like that should definitely be, because it's an evolution that is the first that we see of Espeon. So it's like it's the Espeon rookie card, and there's only like 77 of them. That should be a lot in my opinion. That should definitely be a lot. Now it's not an original evolution like Jolteon, Flareon, or a little Vaporeon, but this is something that I think will be big in the future, because it's not like a Leafeon or a Glacehead. No, it's still in the first two generations. Pokemon's still very, very popular. People love Gold and Silver games. In my opinion, they're better than the first games. And it evolves not from a stone. It evolves depending on the time of day, which is great. And then we have Fortress, first edition PSA 10, sold for $320. Houndour, first edition PSA 9, sold for $295. And a Kabutops, first edition PSA 9, sold for $255. Now on to Neo, but it is Neo Setini. It's Neo Destiny. Shining Charizard, first edition PSA 10, sold for $17,750. And a Dark Ampharos Unlimited PSA 10, sold for $375. That's it for today, kids. I love you all. 16-minute video. It's good to be back. I will catch you all later. Bye, guys.